Hi, this is Chris Salem. It's been quite some time since I've done a video like this due to the fact I'm always busy doing other things with clients. But in any event, I was compelled to put this together because I really want to help a lot of people out there. I've been observing about what I'm about to talk about today for quite some time. And I see so many people that have spent so much time trying to put their businesses together or to make adjustments to take it to the next level, but always seem to get caught up in the shiny objects, get caught up in the results and the outcomes, but never really embrace a process. And I wanted to use this video to kind of shed some insight. So I go to a lot of events. I go to a lot of business gatherings, and it seems that people are always looking for the quick fix. They're always looking for that magic solution outside of themselves. They get caught up in, products and services that are designed to, with the intent to do well. But what they don't realize is that a cookie cutter system is not going to work for everyone. And the fact is that before you start to scale your business, even if you're starting a business, you got to really get down to why you're doing what you're doing. What are your core values and principles? How does that relate to your business? How's that relate to your customers? But again, oftentimes we get caught up in I'm going to do this SEO program. I'm going to have this fancy website. I'm going to put out a book. I'm going to have a podcast, a radio show. And while all that stuff is great, that in itself is not going to be the answer unless you have a strategy behind that. So many people are getting caught up spending money on books and websites and SEO and funnels and all this stuff, and it's all good. But if you don't have a strategy, if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you don't have a value statement, you don't even know that your core values and principles are not even aligned to the people you do business with, you don't even have a sphere of influence. These are all things that have to be taken into consideration if you're going to have success in your business. I want you to think about it. Think about you're driving down the road and you see this beautiful home. And you're saying to yourself, that's the home I would love to live in. Because you're caught up in the end result, the home. I want the home. But what you don't realize is that below that home, there's a foundation. And let's just say that that foundation has cracks in it. It's incomplete. It's not sustainable. But yet many people would still buy the house because they see the result and that's what they want. But they don't want to adapt or fix or modify the foundation that is going to sustain that house for years to come. See, the mistake that many people are making, again, and these are just observations, doesn't mean what I'm giving you is right and I'm trying to be righteous here, because that's not what the case is. This is for you to kind of just hear something else that allows you to draw your own conclusion. See, the thing is, I see so many people spending tons of money, tons of time, and chasing the results, looking for all these things that are going to make that possible from the outside and not from the inside out. See, you have to build your foundation. You got to get this right. You got to understand what you're good at and what you're not good at. You got to understand what your values and principles are and how that relates to your sphere of influence, to the audience you serve, because that's what's going to allow them to buy into you and why you do what you do, and then refer people. And then if that requires some marketing, a new website, funnels and SEO and a book and a podcast and all that stuff, that's all great. But now you have a plan to plug in to see what will work and what will not work. Instead, most people do it backwards, the cart before the horse. They spend a lot of time, hundreds of thousands of dollars on things to get their business to scale, only to end up back kind of where they were. See, if you're going to do it right, you got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in maybe perhaps a good coach, not a process in itself, a cookie cutter program that you're going to, that multiple people or hundreds of thousands of people are going to tap into. I'm not saying that they're not going to work, but what I'm trying to say is that just because it worked for that person who puts it out doesn't mean it's going to work for you, because your core values and principles, your strengths may be completely different from that person. How could that possibly work for you if there's a contrast? See, there is no cookie cutter program that is going to work for anyone. It's what you take from it and learn to see what applies to you based upon your strengths, your core values and principles, then define within yourself to make that work. That's the difference. See, if you align yourself with that information up front, you could go about it differently, to have a plan, to have a foundation, to have a strategy before you start to implement all these things you have to invest in and all this time, that you could do it right and do it in a way that has a chance to sustain and build from there. Again, I've coached many people in this particular area. I've coached businesses where a lot of times I have to undo a lot of this. But see, the reality is, even as a coach, I can't do it for you. And as someone that's serious about scaling their business, you got to show up to do the work. You have to be coachable, but you have to do the work. No one is going to do it for you. And if they do it for you, it's going to be short-lived, because you're not going to learn from it, and it's not a sustainable model to do. You have to come as the student to do the part, to do the work, to become that success, to become part of the process that will lead or be the byproduct of the desired results that you seek. Again, it's not rocket science, but it's a matter of knowing that success, and whatever that means to you, it's hard work. But yet it doesn't have to be as hard as you think if you're able to embrace the process and build your foundation first, and know that you played an important part in executing it, but being coachable and learning from mentors that can show you how that applies to your particular situation, not to the masses, not to say, hey, do these 10 things and everything's going to be perfect. No, nothing works that way. So think about it. You go out and you invest in some cookie cutter program and you hear the testimonials, how it worked. Again, yeah, maybe it worked for a few people. That's where the testimonials come from. But majority of them, it's not going to work. It's not because that the methodology or the product is not good. It's just due to the fact that you've gone into it with all the wrong reasons. You've gone into it not truly assessing your values and principles, assessing your strengths and weaknesses. And these things don't take that into account. Stop throwing money out the door for things without reevaluating this and building that foundation first. When you truly understand that and truly have a strategy and a plan in place, then you can invest in the certain things that will, become the puzzle pieces that will make this all come together. I hope this short video helps. Again, I'm not doing this because I'm trying to say, hey, everyone's doing this wrong. That's not the case. By all means, if it is working for you, all power to you, and I wish you all the success. But again, this is for you to draw your own conclusion. I'm just so tired of seeing people struggle and so many people spending a lot of time and money when they can be going from within to set up that foundation first, to have a strategy plan that they can then plug the pieces in to make that happen. I want to wish you all success. And again, I hope this short video helps you in gathering some more intelligence and insight to make the choices that are best for you.